Sorry, I think I accidentally turned off my camera with my chin. I don't know where I left off. I said I wasn't going to hit this. If this was a precious rock, I wouldn't try to hit this steep rolled edge, because this is going to be a stressful flake. It's going to be deep and maybe crack something. But I just kind of want to... If I had I probably should go get my bigger hammerstone, but I'm not. I'm just going to get this and see what happens. Overstruck a little bit. That helped out a little bit. Oops. It would have been nice if this would have rolled a little bit more on this square edge. Should get in here. Oh man. That was a little flake I really needed. It would have been awesome if I was making a thin-butted axe. I'm gonna have to come from here. YouTube got rid of the dislike button, which is kind of stupid. So anybody who's with objections can leave a comment. We'll take no offense. I might or might not take the advice. Whoops. My hammerstone over here caught. That was really dumb. I was round in here, and the hammerstone caught over there and just sheared my bottom off. Oops. Well, that'll make it easier now play with this width to get rid of that square edge. So narrow hammerstone's really advantage. And that might have, I don't think that this is too bad. And we'll have to punch down to that and see what it does. I hit twice there too. Whatever. Get a little one. There. One thing, when you look at all these late archaic sites, and you see manufacturer things, and you see square edges getting addressed like that, you know that it's hammerstone work. If you do a lot of hammerstone work, then you can tell that that flake is not made with an antler. There's just certain places that you can get in and hit steep edges with different speeds and can do with a hammerstone that you can't do with an antler or a softer tool. Get a little. There we go. Little, maybe I can get a narrow part and get a small. No. I really want to keep my width here. A little stubborn spot here. There. Just need a little tiny. There we go. There we go. That a little thin, but slow. Okay, well, I wish I had different hammerstone. I could use that little one. This is that one I made that point with the other day. Let's do a little bit of work with this, and then we'll do some punch work. I'm brushing these down, and I want to make sure to try to keep them pretty smooth. These can get really, really abrupt, needly tips. Taking a flake out where I know I'm not going to get a flake. Stiffen this area enough to where I know it's going to carry through that concrete crud. Hey there. Now I can get the area that I just dulled next to it eventually. A lot of this work that I'm doing, when I'm skipping around, I'll leave an area and I'll come back, and I'm just creating similar edges where I can continue flaking. And so it seems like it's just random, but it's not. I've got certain areas with a hammerstone I can create contours. And so if I just work in the middle, and then I've got other areas, I'm just trying to thicken the edge pretty evenly on this. And then you get more organized as you start to finish. I'm getting a little crooked on our tip. And just move over a little bit. A little pinching. See, when I'm over striking and I'm chipping clean, I'm just keeping things smooth in. So I intentionally sort of went and caught more of that edge than I needed to. That one did a little side hinge, but it's not a big deal. Side hinge is the new. I'll be in the appendix for other things I say that probably don't make sense. Let's do a little bit more work on this tip. We're smooth, and now see our edges low to this face, edges kind of low to this face. So if I can thin down on this face here, that'll end up being about the thickness we want. These points are pretty heavy bodied. A lot of them are. A little short. When I'm grinding all these little burrs down, just to keep everything real even, and then look for thick areas to hit. This might be kind of a deep flake. I allowed that because I can clean it. And I was just being kind of lazy. some things that look like napping errors. When you look at old stuff, it's a difference between an irretrievable mistake and one that's just at a point where it makes more sense to just, allow it. Like, you wouldn't want that flake towards the end, but this will be able to just clean out here. And I probably should leave that because I've got this heaviness back here. And if this flake goes a little bit deep, or I incur some stress because this is concrete here, then it's going to make it weak. And when I'm womping around back here, I might have something bad happen. So, just come back here really quick. That was a little excessive. This plane and this plane, assuming everything is alright with here, that ought to be okay. And our width is okay. Man, look what I did. Well, I'm just going to kind of find a new spot. Did I flake my hammerstone again? I might have. It'd be kind of cool to see how many of these are in. This would be classified probably as just like burnt rock or something. But if you looked at it and decided the face, then you'd be able to tell it was just a hammerstone fragment. A lot of game balls that people find. The hammerstones get so round, and you can work with them small, and then they get to a point where they're just completely round, and then they'd be pretty easy to polish up. But the flint hammerstones, probably not, because this flint is not a very good hammerstone to use a small one effectively. Okay, it'd be good to hit here, but I have this ridge coming in here. There's not a good place to hit, so I just need to relieve that just a tiny little flake. Need a little bit more. There. This one is going to be a hammerstone breaker because it's a point, but it's positioned right. Let's see if it can. There we go. Right. Getting to the point where we're running out of hammerstone platforms with this hammerstone because we're getting too isolated. I could do it, but on this material it's probably going to be just get a nice slow smooth one here. Oh yeah, see it was isolated and there was a concrete pocket and not enough edge support to carry that through. I just collapsed my platform. So let's just clean this up now that we're thinner on the back. And then we'll switch to the punch. And hopefully this is so crusty right there. Hopefully this will carry through. And then we'll turn it off and we'll do part 3. Okay, we're in good shape. We messed up a little bit with that damage on the bottom, but proportionally this will probably be a nicer point. Blade, knife. So I'm almost resistant to go to the punch because it'd be nice to hammerstone punch this, but I'm not set up for that, so let's just switch to the punch. Sedalias are in the late archaic. They're like more Western, like the Etleys, and the Smiths seem to be like a little bit of the south, and the Etleys a little bit more to the east, and then there's an overlap between the Sedalias and the Etleys. Okay, hopefully that there's enough light and you could see that. Okay, end of part 2.